Welcome back to All This Math. This is Professor Parker, and make sure you go ahead and hit the like button. Hit the like button, number one. Number two, make sure you are subscribed to the All This Math YouTube channel. Number three, when this video is concluded, make sure you share this with at least one other person. And also, if you have any questions about anything that I attempt to describe up here or explain, please put your questions in the comments so I can know. I might make a follow-up video based on your question. I want everybody to be on the same page and have full understanding of anything that I explain in these videos. All right. Also, if you have a comment, feel free to drop a comment. All right. Notice my t-shirt. Check this out. I got Makandal, I got Boukman Dutty, Toussaint Louverture, and Jean-Jacques Dessalines. Dessalines is one of my heroes for real, for real. All right. So these were people that, Boukman, Toussaint, and Dessalines were involved in the Haitian Revolution. Macondo kind of predates the Haitian Revolution. CLR James talks about Makandal. I'm not sure the exact proper pronunciation of his name. My apologies. But CLR James, Trinidadian, Pan-Africanist, historian, talks about Makandal and the Black Jacobins. All right. So check out the Black Jacobins for more information on the Haitian Revolution. Also, check out this book, The Irritated Genie, an essay on the Haitian Revolution, about a lengthy essay, but dope though, right? Great, a lot of great information in here about the Haitian Revolution. This was written by the late Dr. Jacob Carruthers, one of the founding members of ASCAC, the Association for the Study of Classical African Civilizations. All right, so check out these two books. Do your research on the Haitian Revolution, and it was more actors, so many more people involved than just these, but these are just some of the more prominent participants in the Haitian Revolution, especially Dessalines and Toussaint. They were like in the major leadership roles. But yeah, what are we doing today in terms of algebra? We are multiplying rational expressions. Multiplying rational expressions. Now, let me say something. How does this relate to what I just talked about? What's on my T-shirt, right? Math. One of the many things math does for you is it helps you to develop your problem-solving ability and your critical thinking ability. All right. Reading and studying your history requires you have critical thinking ability. Reading and studying history that may be written by people that are trying to control you and oppress you also requires critical thinking ability so that you can prevent and protect yourself from being oppressed and taken advantage of and lied to, right? And you don't just accept everything that you consume. Okay. So you see the connection, right? The math is one of the tools and practices that helps you develop critical thinking ability, and studying history requires you to have critical thinking ability, right? Studying political science, studying psychology, studying sociology, studying all these social sciences, right? Requires critical thinking, So math is directly connected to, in case somebody's watching it saying like, yo, what does the Haitian Revolution got to do with algebra? That's what it got to do with algebra and more than that. But I'm gonna leave it at right there for right now. So anyway, we are multiplying rational expressions. How do we know we're multiplying? Because of this dot right here. This dot indicates multiplication. How do we know these are rational expressions? Because a rational expression is just a fraction. That's really all it is. A rational expression is just a fraction. This is a fraction, 1 over x minus 4. 1 is the numerator, x minus 4 is the denominator. This is a numerator, this is the denominator. Negative x squared plus 9x minus 20 is our numerator, x plus 2 is our denominator. Now, what I always do when I want to multiply or divide rational expressions is I make sure that the expressions are in their factored form, right? They're factored completely. Because then once that happens, then I can start dividing out terms, canceling out terms, right? X minus 4 I can't factor, right? Because the greatest common factor between x and negative 4 is 1, and that's not going to change nothing. X plus 2 I can't factor either, because the greatest common factor, like x minus 4, is 1, so that's not going to change nothing. This can be factored though, right? This can be factored, but I'm going to tell you something. I don't like quadratic trinomials when the lead coefficient is a negative 1. I don't like that. I don't like that. Nah, I don't like that, right? Just like Rico and Belly when he seen Method Man, you know what I'm saying? Coming out to Nebraska. He ain't like that. I don't like this neither, So this negative 1, what I'm going to do with that negative 1, and also understand, this negative sign represents a negative 1. That's what this negative sign is. It represents a negative 1. All right. We got to understand the math language. We got to know how to see it. We got to know how to speak it, read it, and write it. Right. We got to read the math. Right. We got to read it. We got to know that this negative sign really means negative 1 x squared. Right. That negative sign in front of x squared means negative 1 x squared. So I don't like this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to factor out a -1. And then I'm going to have this. I'm going to have -1 times the quantity of x squared minus 9x plus 20. Right? Now where did this come from? Now, dig this. When you factor out a common factor, you have to divide each term by the common factor. So -x squared divided by -1 is positive x squared. 9x divided by -1 is -9x. -20 divided by -1 is positive 20. All right? That's how we got that. All right? Now, matter of fact, no, hold up. I'm going to write this off to the side. Because this numerator right here is the only thing that I'm gonna alter. I can't do nothing with this, or this. This is the only thing I'm doing something with. So watch what I do. Arrow, -1, and then I got my positive x squared. That's what I wanted, because I don't like lead coefficients of -1 with quadratic trinomials. I don't like that, right? And because I got some math skills, I can manipulate and rewrite and rearrange expressions the way I see fit, right? I got that type of power, right? And you can too. When you develop your math skills, you can rearrange things and change things around to suit your needs and suit your wants. You can do that as long as you follow the mathematical rules, which I'm doing. All right. So I got x squared minus 9x plus 20, right? Now this is a quadratic trinomial, right? So now I'm gonna break this down. We'll bring the -1 down, set up the two sets of binomials. All right. Now, dig this, right? I'm a factor x squared into x and x. So I put an x in this space and an x in this space, right? These are binomials. So we need another term right here and right here. Now, what's going to go here and here is the factors of 20 that add up to -9. The factors of 20 that add up to -9. Because this is how we factor a quadratic trinomial when the lead coefficient is a +1. See, now my lead coefficient is not written. There's no number written here. So we understand that there's a +1 as our lead coefficient. It's understood. What's understood don't need to be said, right? And it doesn't need to be written either. You got to understand the language of math. When you learn the language of math, you know what it is, right? You know, when you look at an x squared, you know that that's really 1x squared. It's really +1x squared. That's what it really is for real, for real. All right. So now, what are the factors of 20 that add up to -9? Is it +20 and +1? No. Is it +10 and +2? No. Is it +5 and +4? Hold up. We close. 5 plus 4 is +9, but I need a -9. Whenever that happens, whenever you got the right numbers or you end up with the right number with the wrong sign, that means you gotta just switch the signs. So instead of +5 and +4, I need -5 and -4. Now, how do I know I could use -5 and -4? Because if you multiply -5 by -4, you still get +20. So -5 and -4 are factors of 20, just like +5 and +4 are factors of 20. So that means I'm going to do this. I'm going to put -5 right here and -4 right here, right? So this is the factored form of this. So now I'm going to go back over here. I'm going to put my equal sign, rewrite this, boom. Now this expression is equal to this. We factored this expression, and now it's this. This is now this. This is now this, because look what happened. First, we factored out a -1, and it became this. And then this trinomial became this, right? Two binomials, right? Because we want the factors of 20 that add up to -9. The factors of 20 that add up to -9. That's -5 and -4. All right? So now we got the -1 times the quantity x minus 5 times the quantity x minus 4. And again, I got a whole playlist on how to factor trinomials that look like that. I got a whole playlist. So if you're not too clear or too keen on how to do what I just did, go down the rabbit hole. Go into that playlist. It's called Factoring Trinomials When A is Equal to 1. That's the name of the playlist right here on this channel. That's why you should be subscribed. We teaching math out here. All right. Now I'm just looking for stuff I can cancel out. Right? So this x minus 4, if it's vertical and it's the same, I can cancel it. If it's diagonal and it's the same, I can cancel it. So this x minus 4 cancels with that x minus 4. They turn into 1s. I can't do nothing else with this, but I can do 1 times -1, which is going to be, let me see, negative x minus 5 over x plus 2. And that's our final answer. Because look, my denominator was 1 times x plus 2. That's what we got, x plus 2. My numerator was 1 times negative 1. That's why the negative sign is right here. See, like I told you, the negative sign represents a negative 1. The negative sign represents a negative 1. And then I got an x minus 5 and another 1. X minus 5 right there. So this is my final answer. This is my final answer. Negative x minus 5 over x plus 2. That's the final answer. But we got to know how to factor. In order to do problems like this, you got to know how to factor. You might have a problem where you got two fractions or two rational expressions, and you got an expression that needs to be factored up here, and down here. You might have to factor four things, but you got to know how to factor, right? You got to know how to factor. Bring that skill to the table. If you know how to factor, these problems become very easy. Actually, they become fun, but you got to know how to factor. So you got to put the work in, learn how to factor, and then go practice. Like I just told you I just showed you how to factor this. But watching me do it ain't enough. You got to go practice. You got to go practice, right? You can't just pull up to the YouTube channel and just watch me do it. You're not going to just learn through osmosis. You got to roll your sleeves up and put the work in. All right. Like I know how to do. I make it look easy because I've done thousands of these problems. Literally, I've been putting this work in since the 1900s. You know what I'm saying? It's 2025. I've been getting I learned this back in the 1900s when I was in middle school. So I've been putting this work in since the 1900s. Like I mean it when I say it, right? That sounds like a long time ago to some of y'all if y'all young. But yeah, but you know what I'm saying? You too can be as fluent as I am if you put the work in. All right. So like I said, hit the like button. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Share this video with at least one other person. Let people know what we're doing at All This Math. And study the Haitian Revolution. Make sure you know about the Haitian Revolution. All right, that's a very important historical event. It was a 13-year long event, right, that influenced a lot of things around the globe in the United States and other places as well throughout the Caribbean, right? The effects of it are still being felt to this day in 2025. So study the Haitian Revolution. Learn something about that. All right, and go get some practice. And I'll see y'all on the next video. Peace.